Hello, and welcome to Little Known Histories. I'm Vijay Balan, and I'm a writer and a student of history. Now, in this series of videos, I will share some stories from history that you may not be aware of. I'll begin by unpacking some of the truths behind my book, The Swaraj Spy. World War II, the popular consensus is that the British, the Americans, and the Soviets were on the good side, and the Germans, the Italians, and the Japanese were, well, villains, if you will. But from the point of view of the colonized people, like those in India, the British weren't necessarily good guys. Many saw them as oppressors. So an army was created made up mostly of Indian prisoners of war who had fought for Britain but had been captured by the Japanese when they rapidly took Singapore and Malaya early in the war. This army, called the Indian National Army or the INA, was created by Japanese intelligence working closely with Indian freedom fighters in Thailand and Malaya. The idea was as simple as it was audacious. Let me ask you this. How many Indian soldiers do you think fought for Britain in World War II? That number is 2.5 million. I'll let that sink in. Yes, 2.5 million Indian soldiers fought for Britain in the Second World War. And as well, India was a source of key raw materials, supplies, and funds that kept Britain in the war. So if even a small percentage of that 2.5 million could be convinced to switch sides and fight against the British, then Britain would get knocked out of the war and India would gain independence from a British colonial rule with Japanese help. At least that was the plan. Now, many of you who know Indian history will ask me, well, I know about the INA. So what is new about what you're telling me? Well, let me ask you another question. Who was the first leader of the Indian National Army? Now, most of you will say, that's an easy question. It was this man, Netaji Bose. And you'd be wrong, because the first leader of the INA was this man, Captain Mohan Singh. So there was an INA that existed before the one that most people know about. But that army collapsed because of tensions, disagreements, and intrigues between the Japanese and the Indians. And therein lies a fascinating tale that I will share with you in upcoming episodes of Little Known Histories. Thank you for watching.